Hello folks and welcome back to Mindustry. In our last episode we went through and knocked out section 133, which was an enemy base, and we got a lot of stuff out of that. If we take a look around, there's no big threats. There are some high threats here, but nothing crazy. And I'm trying to decide if we want to go through and do like nuclear production complex, or what else do we have available to us? We have tar fields, we have naval fortress, which I've been warned to stay away from, or if we just want to do another random sector somewhere on our stuff. So I think I'm just going to go here to this little, it looks like a slightly smaller hex, number 8. It's a medium threat. Yeah, see, it's a little smaller. So we're going to go through and try that one and see what happens. We'll max out whatever we can send, and then we'll launch over, and we'll just see what happens. I'm not really sure what's going on here, what we're going to be doing. But let's take a look here and see what we have coming our way. So we're going to pause here real fast, and I don't know why that stayed on there. Alright, so we have a couple of areas here where we have, let's see, we have coal, slag, or not slag, scrap probably, eventually it'll be slag, titanium. There's a lot of good resources here, and depending on where they're coming from, we have this area up here that looks like it's well protected. We have a couple of random branches. There's a lot of stuff here. Wow. The only thing that's really lacking is sand. I don't see any sand. Is that sand? Nope. So there's no sand in this area. I'm hoping they're coming from up here, and then we can kind of bottle that up for any ground attacks, and it looks like we'll be able to deal with air attacks pretty regularly. But let's go ahead and unpause here and see where they're coming from and what we need to do to defend here. It's 25 waves, so is there going to be a guardian? I don't know. Let's see, where are they coming from? So that's confusing to me. I really thought they'd be coming. Oh, they're coming from over here. Okay. That's interesting. All right. So if that's the case, to get started with here, we're just going to set up some pneumatic drills, which I do need to be cognizant of the amount of graphite we're using, because again, we don't have any more that we can actually get a hold of. Our titanium walls. I'm going to try something a little different here. Instead of like putting in walling off that whole thing, I think I'm just going to kind of do a little back area like so here. And hopefully that will be enough to, nope, not that spot. Hopefully this will be enough here to just kind of keep them where they need to be. Am I making sense, or am I just talking gibberish right now? It's probably a little bit of both. So I'm going to go in here and do something like that. And hopefully that'll be enough just to knock out the initial waves of stuff. I am also going to throw on some scatters here. And once we have that stuff built, we'll go back and focus a little bit on the rest of everything. There's some good resources in there, nothing crazy. Again, I'm a little bummed we don't have any sand here. I believe we do have something that can... Is it the melter? Nope, that does slag. Separator, nope. Incinerator, nope, that just burns things. Pulverizer, is that what it is? Yeah, see, we can get sand out of scrap, so we can get sand. We're not totally screwed in that sense, which is nice, that we have options of how to do everything. It's just a matter of getting the production to do so, which we should be able to do without too many problems here. So we're going to spend the first minute or two here getting our defenses set up for at least the initial few waves, and then we can come back and play not so nice a little later on. So we're going to do that, get some basic air defenses set up, because if they send air defense, they just have to fly over here and we're in trouble. So we will have to do more, and we're going to head back over to the core here in just a second, and then we'll check out and see what exactly is going on, because we are rapidly running out of copper. So let's go back to our core here. Yeah, we have lots of stuff near us here, which is great. So let's just pause the game real fast. We'll throw on the initial rounds of all this stuff. I guess it doesn't really matter how we put these on there, because they're all going to feed into that no matter what. And eventually we can come back with laser stuff and do all of that fun, but I'm not super worried about all of that quite yet. And my goal for right now is just to max out some of these belts, to getting the basic stuff set up here. We can get rid of all of this. Although, somebody did mention, there's a button where we can bring some of this stuff back to life, correct? I just don't remember what that button is or how to do it, so I kind of messed up on that part. I totally forget how to do that. So if somebody wants to remind me of how to do that, I'd be eternally grateful for that, because I just don't remember at all how to do that. Like, you can see, these are lit up. Like, they're derelict, but I don't remember if there's a way to bring them back to life. Be cool if there was. All right. I don't know what a search tower is either. All right, so we have the basics here. Oh, we never actually looked last time when we won different stuff if there are any new tech to upgrade. No. We have to get nuclear production. It's tar fields, okay. No. Ooh, we do have this guy. An impact reactor. Creates a massive amount of power at peak efficiency. Requires significant power input to kickstart the process. Interesting. I just want to... There we go. Okay. So it needs blast compound and cryo fluid. It uses 1500 power per second, but then it starts generating... Wow! It produces a ton of power. We have enough to do all of that. I'm not going to look at that yet because it's just not really on our list here. And then we have our foreshadow, which we still need to... we need like 1000 to get the foreshadow, and that thing looks super cool. Down here... Yeah, there's nothing new in that world. This is going to upgrade all of these guys. Oh, and we will get a new name sector if we get tar fields. Okay. So that's exciting. And it looks like we're just about done our resources here. Maybe. All right. So the next step here that we need to do, I would like to get production of power start going here. And just need to see where we want to do this. Because steam generator is great, but it's not like the best. Thermogenerator we can't use. Combustion generator just is a waste. It just does not produce enough for... It only does 60 units of power for what it is. And it uses a lot of stuff. And the differential generator, that requires cryo fluid. And we don't have any liquid here because everything's frozen. So I think we're going to be in... I know I said that everything's frozen, blah, blah, blah. But we're going to go in here. And we are going to... mine out some stuff to be able to produce power, and we're going to use steam generators to do it. I know that goes against everything I just said, and I apologize, but that's just how it's going to be right now. So we're going to go here, and all of that's going to feed along this line, and over here, we're going to put some steam generators in that place. And we don't have a lot of stuff to do that with, so we're going to have to be pretty careful about how we do this. So we're going to have some water extractors. Those water extractors are going to feed that area down there. And then we need a large power node, which we'll throw in right there. Along with... Let's go with oh no, we don't want to use a large battery because we just don't have enough stuff to do that with right now. So we're just going to do something like this. All right. And then just to get things kicked off, we will do a combustion generator right there. And that should hopefully get these guys going. Which will get these producing power. Once they get full up of water. And fantastic. Okay. While that's going on, let's take a look and see what bad guys we have coming our way. Okay, so it's just a crawler to get started with. Nothing to be super concerned about. Got a little farther than I would like, so we're just going to be annoying here. Because if they throw 2 crawlers at us, it's going to be a little bit of a problem. So we'll do that, and we'll do the same thing the other way here. And eventually what we're going to do, at least my plan here, is to get some lancers and other things up here and just knock them out. What I also might want to do here is put on a salvo, just depending on how much power or resources that uses. So titanium, graphite, and okay, we're fine on that. So we'll throw one here and one there, and then we can put on routers for those. And what I might actually do is have this whole thing just kind of flow around so it's circular. So we can load all this stuff up really quickly. Okay, I'm happy with that. Let's go over back here. I would like to get some graphite presses set up and a couple of other things. So let's get all of this established here. We're going to have this all flow that way, being very fast. And have this flow up there like that very fast. And then we're going to have a little split here. Nope, not there. Right there. Then we're going to go into our schematics and grab this bad boy. And we're going to put that right there. As long as I did that right, I think I did. Have graphite flowing into our core here. Again, I really like the graphite presses because they don't use any power. They not particularly fast, but they don't use any power in what they're doing. Round 2 is on its way in. Again, okay, I can deal with that. All right. Next step here, we need to get some silicon. Without that, we are kind of in trouble here. So, taking a look back here, was it the disassembler? Okay, that does actually sand as well, but we need to have the pulverizers. That's what it was, right? Yeah, we need the pulverizer because that's going to allow us to get sand, and then we can make silicon from a lot of the resources that we have here. So, oh, the pulverizers, what do they need? How fast do they need it? Scrap, and it makes, okay, it's a 1-to-1 trade. That's kind of awesome. So we put that on there. Do we want to use a laser drill? No laser drill yet, just because we don't have the resources for it. But we're going to put these on there like so. They're going to come up. We're going to have that one in there. We will put on those bad boys. And then we will go in and use the pulverizers. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's enough to get us started with. And they're probably going to need power. Alright, let's give them power and just see how fast that actually does produce stuff. I guess I should change that output there so it's not coming out of the sides. It's going up that way and that way. Yeah, that makes more sense. Okay. So we have that. It's not particularly fast. Now why are you not outputting things? Okay, I just had sand in the way. Alright, so that's going to be a problem. So we're going to have to do inverted sorter off of that. Actually, no. The inverted sorter is going to be up here. And if it is scrap, it's going to go back through the system. Okay, that should solve that problem here in a moment. Next thing we need to do is be able to mine. Yeah. See, I really want to use laser drills. I'm just trying to not use the resources for it right now. Alright, so we have that. Now we can go in and establish what we really need, which is our silicon smelters. We're going to get 2 of those, I think, going here. So 1 and 2. I really need to build a schematic for this. I say this every episode, and every episode I ignore my own advice and don't do it. So I don't know why I do that, but I do. So we're actually going to have that come off of here, and these will all go out that way. And then this one will have come down, and it'll flow into there. And I'm just trying to figure out the best pathway for all this stuff. Because I want to get all this stuff going into the core without interfering with our other plans. So something like that should work just fine. Okay. Power-wise, we are producing plenty of power. We have this going. All of this stuff is looking good. I'm a big fan of this little setup here. It's kind of neat. And yeah, the other thing we don't have going to our core currently is lead. So we need to get lead going to our core because while we still have plenty of it right now, we will eventually run out. And that's going to be a sad day when that happens. So let's go in here and just make sure that that is no longer an issue or a concern for us. So we're going to do that. Come out here, and I'm just trying to avoid some of the potential areas where I don't want to deal with things. We're just going to have these kind of continually do the little crossover thing. And then this one's going to come all the way down, bump over, and dump in there. Okay. It's going to take a little while for that lead to get here. And looks like we're doing a good job maxing out those belts. So we may actually put titanium on there. Titanium belts here. And then we're also going to need to mine some titanium, speaking of the devil. So we'll do that. Take a look here. Alright, they're still sending crawlers, which are great because they're not really doing much in the way of damage to us. And I think I am going to eventually put on some of our faster stuff here in just a moment. So we'll have these guys come up over here, and then they're gonna just take off. And you can see I'm getting real messy with the belts. Like, they're staying organized, sort of, but we are just trying to keep stuff going where it needs to go, I think, right now. But yeah, we're not maxing out that belt at all. Definitely not maxing out that belt, but that's fine. We're okay with that so far. And we can see that we are still, I think if we increase the speed on that, we are not going to max it out. So I'm okay with that so far. And I think I just want to get some air defenses here. Not that they've shown any inclination of having that so far, but it just makes me feel better. Alright, so we have the basic setup of what we need. Our main units of graphite, silicon, copper and lead are all coming in. We probably should do a metaglass here somewhere as well. Maybe I could throw that on one of these belts, help fill those up, like put it up here. That might not be a bad idea. And just, I always forget what exactly they need. Sand and lead. Okay. Well, we're going to have to do another one of these setups here for more of the sand. But we have lead right there, so it's not too big of a deal to grab all of that and do our thing here. So we'll get all of that going. These guys are going to come up. And we'll have them go that way. Actually, let's have it just go there. All right. And then we want to put on our incinerators. No, not incinerators. What were we doing? Pulverizer, right? Yeah, pulverizer. Yay. Okay. And then we'll put the kiln. Not that we really need metaglass for this one. We're not producing enough of anything really to necessitate that, and we don't have any water, so we're not building any pipes really for anything here. But again, it's one of those things that just makes me feel a little better. So we're just going to do that, and that's just going to output right there. It also helps us bring our power further over. Alright, so our sand's going, now that's going. Cool, Bob your uncle, we got all that flowing. Nothing's going super quick, but that's fine. Power-wise, we're still producing plenty of power. We do have a hole in the wall, so we will patch said hole here. And I think we're going to bring power up this way, and then we can throw on some laser drill, or lancers, excuse me. And they're still just throwing crawlers out there, which is fine with me. Alright, so we're just going to throw a little lancer party right there. And we'll do the same thing down here. And then we'll get a big men projector here to cover that area. And another one down here to cover that area. This is a little interesting area because there's a plenty of resources, but they're not like high value resources like some of the other ones. And there's no water, which is a big time bummer. Like especially, and there's no sand, so we have to make our own sand, which kind of stinks. But there still is lots of stuff we can do here, and yeah, we're trying to make sure we get it done. I'm also going to add on some larger batteries out here. Now that we have some more resources to take care of that, we can definitely address that particular issue so that we're storing up a little bit more power. Each one of these is 50,000 units of power. Our regular batteries are 4,000, so significantly better on the big batteries. And we could, if we wanted to, go in and throw some fuses or something, because we have tons of titanium that we could throw up here and just rock out anybody who gets close to our wall, knock them down real fast. Not super worried about that quite yet, especially as our silicon production is struggling to keep up. But it's one of those things that's fun to think about. So I'm going to throw on one more steam generator here, I think. once we get enough silicon to do so, which we now have. So that one's producing power, and we have power going there. Bad guy wise, looks like they knew some of them made it and some of them did not, and that's what we're looking for here. I'm just going to explore this spot here and see what they're doing. So we have steam generators with water extractors, and they're mining coal. So it looks like we had coal going through all this with some steam generators, and then there was some solar panels to get the stuff set up along with some batteries. So it looks like a lot of times, instead of doing combustion generators to get started with, whatever was here before in the game was kind of setting up solar panels with the battery, and that would jumpstart enough to get the water extractors going so that they could then feed at least one steam generator. And then once the steam generator got going, it was self-sustaining, which is a really cool, fun idea. I like the idea of that. I want to explore stuff like that a little bit more in the future. It's just in this one, we didn't have a ton of silicon to go with, so it made stuff a little tougher. Alright, so, yeah, and our metaglass here is not clogging this up the way I thought it was. I thought it was going to clog it up entirely, but it looks like we're keeping consistent with that. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Pretty happy with some of this other stuff. And I think, because there's some other cool stuff, like the disassembler. That is, you put scrap in, scrap and slag, and you get graphite, sand, titanium, and thorium out of that. That's fascinating. Not that we need to do any of that right now, but again, it's the idea that we could that's kind of intriguing and fun. I don't need to do this. I'm going to. I don't need to, but I want to. Do I want to? See, I'm conflicted in this game because there's stuff that I just want to play with and see what I can make it do. And there's just reasons not to do that. So if we take a look here, I get copper, lead, graphite, and titanium with slag, which is a little bit more valuable, I think, to us right now. So where was that last area? We have this area of slag over here that we could still mine more on. So let's do that real fast. So if we mine more on it there, and then we go to a separator. Oops. Nope, we can't output sand. I really dislike that it wants to do that. So let me go to a sorter here real fast. The only thing we're looking for is slag to come out of there. Everything else can go out and back around that way if we have it. And then here, we're going to go to a separator. Oh, first we need to melt it, right? Yeah, we need to melt all this stuff. So throw that onto, let's say, 3 of them. And hey, look, we actually are going to be able to use our pipes. Our power is stable, and then that's going to go to a separator. And we'll run those guys up in there as well. Okay. And then we can have that come out. Like so. And I'm not going to run that down on the inside of that anymore. I'm going to run this way. Come down to about there. We'll cross that over and throw all of that in there as well. So now we have this belt, which is not remotely full. I probably could have just upgraded this one to a titanium belt and then merged it in, but that's fine. We're still producing plenty of power, and I'm happy with this setup right now. But I am very deeply intrigued by the idea of thorium. And we need the disassembler to do that. It requires scrap and slag. Not either or, it requires both. We get a lot of stuff out of that. And we have a huge area of scrap down here that I could play with that at. Is there any other scrap areas up here? No, there's huge titanium fields. Wow. I'm just most impressed by how much titanium that we have. I'm gonna do another steam generator. We have, could probably do a little bit more water. So we'll throw those in there. And I could put it all on this side. No, I can't. I could start building down. Let's see. So I did something like this where we have that one come off of here. And then we could have stuff hook up through this area. Nope, not that one. Alright, so what I'm thinking of here is I want to have this come up this way. Because then we can feed a pipe up through here and feed steam generators on there. Does that make sense? So I'm thinking we can go with another steam generator right here and right here. I can have them do something like that. And then as far as this goes, I can have these guys go there and wrap that up there like so. And we'll probably put on a titanium belt here just to make sure we have all the things we need. Alright, now we're producing lots of power. Alright, silicon press requires coal, sand, and pyrite. Okay, pyrite's just not going to happen because that's coal and sand, I believe. Where's my pyrite press at? Or pyrite mixer. Yeah, it's lead, coal, and sand. We just don't have enough of those resources to justify that right now. But I really deeply want to play with the idea of getting thorium and stuff on here. I think that's really intriguing. So I'm gonna branch off of here. And do something like that. And then we're just gonna mine a ton of this stuff. And we're gonna use water extractors to help out these bad boys. And the plastium belts are kind of exciting. These armored conveyor belts are also exciting. They only move 11 items, which I think is pretty close to what titanium does. Yeah, it's the exact same thing. These guys move 10, but it moves 40 items a second, where these guys only use 11 items. So that's crazy, but we don't have plastium to do that with right now. And I'm not super interested in being able to generate more of that stuff currently. So we're just not going to worry about that yet. So we're going to have all of this stuff go out through here. This is going to be just a stupidly large belt for what we're actually doing. But I do like how much space we have in this one to actually kind of do things. So we're going to bring it down here. And I don't know why this is the spot I'm going to choose to do this. It doesn't really make any sense, but that's okay. We're going to have it split off into two lines here. One line is going to have where we melt everything down, and the other line is going to go this way, where we don't melt things down. So let me melt all the stuff down here first, and see how big that factory is. So the disassembler is that big, so we're going to put it right there. And we should be able to throw melters in. 1, 2, 3, right over top of that. And then get that going like so. And then we just need to provide a little power and a little love. And that bad boy is cooking. And we're going to eventually put that on here. This is all going to get upgraded right now, because I'm tired of using up these belts for things we don't. We just need to clear out this belt line here with better stuff. And that's exactly what we're going to do right now. All right, and you can see, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Where's our, oh, there's our slow guy right there. Okay. So hopefully that spaces out a whole bunch of stuff, and that we're good to go from there. What did we mess up on this one? Why are you not going? Oh my god. Oops. Forgot to do the last piece of that. All right. But off of this, we can steal sand, because we need sand for this, and we need sand for this. So if we wanted to, we can do, what do I want to do? Inverted sorter. We're going to choose sand, and then we can throw that onto there. And then we can throw an overflow gate down here, and then that's going to output more sand if we get filled up, which it looks like we're going to. That can throw that up there, and then we can dump that onto that area so we can fill up even more sand. And you can see that's actually outputting a fair amount of sand for what it is. But we actually haven't needed our overflow gate, which is kind of exciting. And I'm just going to provide some additional air cover here just in case. This area has been relatively unscathed so far. Cough, cough, nudge, nudge, don't hurt me. And we can see they're still throwing out really weak units, so this isn't like a super crazy battle by any means. Like we're doing fine. I'm just going to kind of accelerate things here a little bit. And what do ripples do again? They need graphite, silicon. They can do lots of stuff. Oh, look at that. That's It's asking for graphite up there, because we can just throw some ripples down here and just absolutely destroy them on multiple levels. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to set up a nice little graphite area up there. So let's take a look here. What do I want to do? We're going to have it go like that. Have it go like that. And then we'll bring all of that down this way. Sneak it through some of this stuff. And then we'll go into our schematic. Throw that on there. There we go. Look at that, just filling that belt up. It's beautiful. This is completely unnecessary, but I kind of love it. What are they called again? The ripples. What do they also need? So the fire rate goes up significantly if we add water to them, which we are producing actually not stupid amounts of power. Let's go take a look and see what's going on with that, because I would think we'd be producing more power than we are right now. Are we struggling with water? Nope. We're decent on that. So what we're going to do here is we're going to just put on a little branch right there. Have that come out. And we're going to throw on some steam generators up here. A steam generator requires 6 water per second, and if we take a look at the water extractor, it produces 6.6. So all we need to do is provide it what we are already capable of doing, and we're good to go with that. And that's all connected on there now, and we are producing plenty of power. Now we do have this issue here. So what I'm going to do is we have a vault, and what we can do is we can use that vault to feed that up, and then I'm going to use an unloader here, and we're just going to cycle that back through. And what should happen is this belt should start getting full of stuff. So we can go through here, and the vault is holding on to stuff. You can see that this belt's full, so it's going to cycle through a little bit, but we'll be able to hold extra ammo. So if we ever run out of ammo, this thing's going to immediately refill all of those, which I haven't played that before, but I think it's an intriguing idea to have kind of like these automatic reloaders or places where you can load stuff up and then just kind of let it go. I'm also tempted to add water extractors on these or go with cryo fluid, because we have plenty of titanium here. We can easily get more water. And you can see they are penetrating through some of this stuff, so we might want to talk about just buffering some of these things or building them up a little bit more. But I am kind of surprised they're getting through some of that. We could solve that with some fuses as well, although they only use titanium as their ammo. So we could get rid of some of this area here and, like, let's say just throw a fuse there. Let's see, what does that look like? So it's that area there we can completely get rid of. And throw a fuse. And you can see I'm just trying to throw stuff at a wall right now and just see what works, what doesn't. I don't know if this is a good idea. It's probably not. But it's okay. Nothing wrong with testing stuff and seeing how it works. So I'm just going to leave that alone. We're going to bring that down. Over here. I guess we're going to have to come here and not that one. I almost had it. There we go. So that fuse is going to cover this whole bottom area. And then we could potentially put another one up here. Although, looking at the range they have, we'd be better served by that and then putting the Lancers a little farther back. But that's okay. You see this up to 200 something. And we theoretically could do the same thing with these, but I don't think these duos have been used at all in a while. Alright, let's take a look and see what this looks like and see if these even get fired up at all. So not really, and that's okay. So it doesn't look like we have a, I thought we might have Guardian. No Guardians coming this round. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to get rid of all of that, and we're going to reconstruct that with larger walls. So we're going to rebuild some stuff on here, see what we can do. Maybe throw... What does a cyclone do? Explosive clumps of flak. And metaglass, that's intriguing as well. And it's a pretty big area, so like if we could put one right in there, that'd be fun. The only problem is we need sand for metaglass, so that's not as much fun. So what I think we're going to do instead is we'll put 2 salvos in there. And then we'll be able to feed them with copper once we build that on there. Now you can see now they've chosen to go the south way because the walls are not as thick down there. And I kind of had a feeling that might happen. So we're going to spend some time making those walls nice and thick. And we are right on the edge of their base here. But we did use the fuse there, which is exciting as well. Still producing plenty of power, doing all the things that we need to do to be successful here. Ooh, and we do have metaglass pretty close, so if we wanted to, it was a cyclone, right? Yeah, it doesn't do crazy damage, but it does some. Let's try it. So we're going to put 2 of them down here. Alright, so we're going to do that. And then I'm just going to have a little jump there. Nope, not that. That's bad. Don't want that. And let's just see what this looks like. Ooh, Ooh, and look, they got some Atraxes. So they did upgrade their guys, but they got knocked out real fast. But just, we don't really have that great of units up here. It's just there is a lot. And I'm excited about what we have there, even though it's not like the most crazy thing in the world. It's good enough for what we need right now. And what we might do is build a little jaunt off of this and a little jaunt off of that, and then we can supply just that area with metaglass. So let's take a look and see what that would look like here. So if we put a kiln right there, that can go up there, that can go there, and that can go there. And that should work. There we go. It's firing up right now. And I can take that overflow and also go that way if I wanted to. I dig these ridiculously long belts. This is fun. And I'm also loving that I'm getting to experiment with some of these new items that I have. So they have their ammo. We can cool these things, right? So if I put a water extractor here and here. There we go. And the fuses, or the cyclones, excuse me, increase 160% when they get full water, which they will not have from this, but that's okay. So this is going to fill up here shortly, and then the rest of our stuff will return to normal there. There we go. We're doing the job we need to do. And I suppose we could put an overflow gate there. So if that ever gets too full, we can just throw something down there onto this belt, because this one never gets full, never even close. So now there's no reason to do this. I love it. It's so ridiculous. And you can see our little gambit down here seems to be working. These guys are doing their job. Let's move on to the next round. Atrax just stand no chance in here because these guys don't shoot fast, but they shoot devastating firepower at a particular spot. So that's all well and good, and this should be the win for us here because, again, these are slow-moving units. These things just fire really fast. There we go. Sector has been captured, and that's going to really wrap us up for all the things that we have there. I'm really happy with this little area here, and I'm happy that we got to experiment with separators and disassemblers and all kinds of other fun stuff. But these things are super cool. Cyclones are my new best friends. So that should wrap us up for today, folks. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate your time, and I will catch you in our next episode. Bye-bye.